Happy Halloween and welcome back to BlackTideTV. My hands reek of pumpkin from carving jack-o'-lanterns. I'm about to go put on a costume and ruin some childhoods while I'm handing out candy. But I thought I'd make a quick video today. I wanted to make a quick video today. I got up pretty late and I was like, oh man, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. But we found enough time, and this is going to be a quick exotic weapon review anyways, because we're looking at, quite honestly, a very suitable weapon for Halloween, because this thing is horrifying. It's terrible. It's awful, and you do not want to use it. But of course, this being October 31st, we are one day, not even 24 hours away from the official cold start of the Astro Gaming A20 Interactive Easter Egg giveaway. That would be the additional entries are starting tomorrow. So if you want to learn more about the Astro Gaming A20 headset giveaway here on BlackTideTV, I've linked in the description down below a little Patreon article that you guys can check out. It's also on my community page on YouTube, but I'm not sure how that page actually works, so I don't know how you guys can see that. I noticed a lot of people have been thumbing it up and stuff, but I'm not sure exactly how that gets out to you guys, if it's actually sent to you when I post there. So there's a link to my Patreon page. There's a public post. You do not have to be a patron to look at this post to see more about this. I'll have a full video on it tomorrow as well. But if you want to learn a little bit more in advance, just go check out that post. I'm giving away an Astro A20 headset. So, I mean, you could win that for not even doing really anything. But the cold start starts tomorrow. So that's additional entries like becoming a sponsor, becoming a patron, and following me on Twitter. Those all get you entries. But in today's video, the Fighting Lion. This is, without a doubt, pretty much across the board, every single Destiny 2 player will agree with me, the worst exotic in the entire game. Period. It is that bad. So I thought, yeah, if it's Halloween, we're going to talk about the worst gun, something that will give you nightmares. Now, I mean, redeeming qualities here, it looks badass. The Fighting Lion is like one of the cooler looking exotics. It actually looks exotic. It's all like gold with like silver filament and this lion head on the front. It looks super awesome. And when you first get this one, if you hadn't really known about it and you get it out of an exotic engram, you're looking at it, you're like, oh my god, that is like the coolest exotic. It's got to be badass. It's got to be really good. But that's unfortunately not the case. And you'll see that throughout the gameplay today, because it's the first exotic weapon review where I'm mostly switching to other weapons the entire time to get my kills, and that should just be like an immediate indicator that this gun isn't very good when you have to switch to other guns to get the kills for it. But that's basically the only way that you can use the Fighting Lion. So what is the Fighting Lion? The Fighting Lion is one of two currently in the game exotic grenade launchers. However, unlike the Prospector, which is a totally classic grenade launcher that you'll find in the heavy or power ammo slot, the Fighting Lion is a secondary weapon. It's an energy weapon, void powered, and you can put this in your secondary slot where you would normally have an auto rifle or a submachine gun or a sidearm. You can just use this grenade launcher, and I think that is the #1 reason why the weapon is so underpowered, because they thought they would have to balance it for being a grenade launcher secondary. Technically, you can use this grenade launcher and a tertiary grenade launcher and then whatever primary. So I think the developers at Bungie were like, okay, this is a secondary grenade launcher. It can't be very good if it's going to be super available. And energy ammo, even though it's very hard to come by ammo in general in this game, energy ammo drops a lot more frequently than power ammo. That's why I haven't done any exotic weapon reviews for power weapons yet, because I'm still trying to figure out how to do them, because I kind of like to do everything in one-cut commentaries, one-cut kind of gameplays, and I'm just going to shoot 6 people and completely run out of ammo for the next 20 minutes while I'm looking for more power ammo. So the Fighting Lion being a secondary, you have access to a lot more ammunition, so that's why it's so underpowered. But why exactly is it underpowered? It just doesn't do a whole lot. The traits are there, and if they did actually benefit the weapon would do very, very well, but the weapon just has abysmal blast radius. It's got okay velocity, but I mean, it's not going to really make a difference because the blast radius is just so bad. Like, if you're looking an enemy straight in the face and you shoot them with this grenade launcher, it'll barely scratch them unless they have a shield, and that's because of the traits. But it only holds 1 grenade at a time. This isn't one of those special grenade launchers that shoots like 6 grenades. It has like a chamber. This is a half break. Every time you shoot a grenade, you have to crack it open and put another grenade in there. and that's what's going to screw you over with this one. You're going to have to hit someone like 3 or 4 times with this grenade launcher to kill them, and the reload speed is so slow, but that's where the traits come in handy. So the intrinsic trait on Fighting Lion is delayed gratification, which isn't exactly that special. I've seen this on other legendary grenade launchers in this game, but grenade projectiles will bounce off surfaces, hold R2 to fire, and release to detonate. So you fire this thing and it'll just keep bouncing until you let go of the trigger or until it direct impacts. I would always go for the direct impact. Don't try and be all fancy and shoot this one, hold the trigger, and then like release it when it gets close to an enemy to blow them in a certain direction or something. It's not going to do enough damage based on its blast radius if you do that. So you basically have to be shooting for direct impact, and that's why I would never ever recommend this weapon in Crucible, because even if you do direct impact someone at full health, it's not going to insta-kill them. I shit you not, if you direct impact someone with this grenade launcher in Crucible, it won't kill them. You have to direct impact them at least 2 times to even come close to killing them in Crucible. That's why you shouldn't use this weapon in Crucible, and you shouldn't even use it at all. But the second trait, the special trait that's actually, I find this interesting, but the second trait on exotic seems to be like the big special trait, whereas the intrinsic, which should be the special trait, doesn't really do a whole lot. But the special trait on this one, Thin the Herd. Direct hits with this weapon do more damage to shielded enemy combatants. Rapid kills against grenade damaged enemies will refill the magazine. So if you hit enemies that have a shield up, it will do more damage to them, and this is very effective when you're fighting Minotaurs, Vex Minotaurs, because they have that void shield. This is a void energy weapon. You cannot change the element of this weapon, even though it's a secondary, because it's exotic. It gets its very own element. So void is all you can use, so you're only going to be engaging enemies with void shields, hopefully. Vex Minotaurs, as long as they don't teleport halfway through the explosion, you'll pretty much insta-kill Vex Minotaurs with this one. That's like the only enemy that I can really advise that you go after with Fighting Lion. And then that second part of the trait, rapid kills against grenade damaged enemies will refill the magazine. I would almost always recommend you do this. Use a hand cannon or some other weapon that will do a lot of damage very quickly. A scout rifle, a hand cannon, these are only the 2 that I could recommend. When you hit an enemy with this grenade, with the grenade from the grenade launcher, I tried with extra grenades and it doesn't count, but if you hit an enemy with the grenade launcher and they don't die, and you switch to that secondary weapon, that primary weapon, and you kill them, it will automatically reload your grenade launcher again. So then you can just swap back and shoot another grenade without sitting through the incredibly long reload speed. But even still, all of these things that the grenade launcher has going for it, it's just the grenade launcher itself isn't good enough. I like the idea that the grenade launcher will automatically reload, but you don't get extra ammo. It doesn't give you an extra grenade out of nowhere. It takes it from your reserves and just puts it into the grenade launcher. So it's just like reloading, but a little bit faster. So even then, you're reloading ammo that you already have, and this thing only holds 12 grenades. So you're going to be running out of ammo very quickly. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. You're going to have to shoot a lot of grenades at a lot of enemies. You're always going to have to direct impact. It's absolute trash in Crucible. Like I said at the beginning, the only thing this weapon has going for it is the really cool theme of looking at it. So I wouldn't recommend the Fighting Lion, but let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Happy Halloween. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.